We have another Champions League game between dcae and wailord. They both brought a Zigzagoon team. Wailord is using a kind of Hail style team with Snover and Alolan Sandshrew. So I think we can assume that it could be Aurora Veil, Alolan Sandshrew, but we don't know for sure. Swords Dance on its own is really good, and I'm in fact an advocate for Hail, so I do think Hail is good. And we see dcae using a Zigzagoon style team, but it looks like it's not going to be built around Light Screen, Reflect, or anything like that. It's going to be built around Memento spam with, for example, Stunky. And yeah, it's going to be a battle of who can get the setup first. And one advantage that dcae has is he has a Frillish. And typically on these offensive teams, you're going to see Frillish be Scarf Frillish. So Scarf Frillish can handle Zigzagoon, and it can handle Magby, because Magby runs Mach Punch very often. So Scarf Frillish can actually be really dominating this game. The main concern for dcae is going to be handling that Sandshrew Alola. If it is a Swords Dance set with maybe Knockoff or even Earthquake, it's going to be very tough to deal with. On the other hand, wailord has to worry about that Frillish, which is very likely to be Choice Scarf. And it looks like dcae is going to lead with Venipede, get Hazards up. I'm not sure wailord can do anything about Hazards lead Venipede. It's just going to get them up, and it's going to get a lot of them up, maybe one or two. Two spikes seems like the amount it'll get up. So Diglett lead, Venipede lead. This is probably Stealth Rock, Memento, Diglett. There is no other Stealth Rocker on the team. And dcae is probably that spikes Venipede with Speed Boost. We're probably going to see... Ooh, I wonder if it's Rock Tomb Diglett. Rock Tomb Diglett can cause issues. So maybe he'll Spike and Protect? Or will he Protect and Spike? I'm not sure. Stealth Rock here, okay. He gets a Toxic Spike up, which basically... I'm not sure it's the most valuable thing in the world. It doesn't even force him to go Coughing, because he might go Snover. Okay. He goes to Sandshrew Alola. Yeah, and this is the problem. It probably has Rapid Spin. Yeah, it definitely has Rapid Spin. In fact, it definitely has Rapid Spin, and it's going to basically remove hazards on Venipede unless dcae goes to Frillish. So it's going to be an interesting decision. I wonder if dcae will immediately go Frillish on Sandshrew. We don't know for sure if it's Scarf, but that's a bet I'm willing to make. But even if it's defensive, it could cause issues for Magby or Zigzagoon. Actually, I think Magby with Thunder Punch does one-hit KO bulky Frillish. So defensive Frillish is not going to be a problem at all for Wail, but Choice Scarf would be. So interesting decision. Will dcae go to Frillish on a very likely Rapid Spin? He goes to Frillish, okay. He goes to Coughing, okay. Good play from wailord. He baits in the Frillish. And yeah, he basically baits in the Frillish and removes the Toxic Spikes. And yeah, like I said, that Venipede, I don't think it was a good idea to get Toxic Spikes. Spikes were much more reliable. You get a Spike up and it's going to stay there for the rest of the game. That Toxic Spike did not really accomplish much at all. So now, the Coughing, it might Fire Blast, it might Thunderbolt. dcae has the option of going to Venipede maybe. He can even go Onyx because it's unlikely the Coughing is going to be Will-O-Wisp. It is probably Memento on this type of hyper offense. So Memento, Coughing, and then Onyx will not be scared of Willow. He goes to Snover. Frillish, Water Spout, it is in fact Choice Scarf Frillish. Snover takes damage, and this is a double-edged sword because Choice Scarf Frillish with Water Spout. Water Spout means that its attack is going to get weaker every turn, especially with Stealth Rock, with Hail, with all those things adding up. He makes a nice play. He goes Diglett. Ooh! This was a really good play from dcae. He predicted the double switch. So you see, wailord, he made a really good play. He tried to go Diglett on the Pony to protect, but dcae saw that good play and he said, you know what, I'm going to make a great play. And he goes and predicts the double switch and uses Water Spout on the Diglett switch, predicting the Ponyta. And now there's nothing to punish the Ponyta. Will he go Ponyta here? Again! He does it again. He predicts him again. He again predicts the prediction of Ponyta. And he gets hit again by the Water Spout. That is Eviolite, definitely. Now what does he do? I think if I am wailord, do I just Earthquake the Frillish here? I think I do. I just Earthquake it and move on. Because another Water Spout is coming. It's going to be tough to deal with. And yeah, dcae is playing really aggressively, and he knows wailord wants to punish that Ponyta. So he's trying his best, but dcae is seeing right through it, and he's predicting it. He does Earthquake here, Water Spout gets the kill. He does have to be careful about Stealth Rock. Okay, he goes to Magby now. Now, Magby is definitely going to take a lot from Water Spout, won't it? I'm not exactly sure how much it would take, but still, Stab, Water, and Magby is not bulky, so I imagine Water Spout would still do a lot right now. But yeah, a really aggressive play, and it's working out for him. He made these aggressive plays, and he basically shut down a double switch 2 times in a row. And you can see wailord didn't make a bad play. Okay, 60, that is a lot of damage. Berry Juice, Belly Drum, and now that's going to take a hit too. Ooh, not looking good. The Scarf Frillish is going in. And like I was saying, 40, Thunder Punch Hail is going to knock out Magby. Yeah. Like I was saying, wailord wasn't making a bad play. When he had Snover, he predicted the Ponyta and tried to trap it with Diglett. He tried to make a good play. It was a good play, but dcae just saw right through it. That's how aggressive both of these plays are playing. And unfortunately for wailord, he's just one step too slow. dcae is predicting him. Now, what will they go to now? That Snover is Icy Rock. It is not Choice Scarf. So if I'm dcae, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, Onix looks pretty good. Either Onix or Ponyta, they both look really good. The only concern I would have is, say I go to Onix, he goes to Snover, and I use Head Smash and I miss the attack. That would be one of my main concerns. So maybe he won't go Onix. So it's going to be about minimizing the odds right now. Do you go to Ponyta? Do you go to Onix? Do you Head Smash at any point, even though it can't miss? So what do you do? That is what it is going to come down to right now. He goes to Coughing, and he goes to Stunky. Okay, that's pretty interesting, actually. I'm not sure why you'd go to Stunky. This might be Nasty Plot or Memento. I think it's Memento because of the Zigzagoon, but it could also be Nasty Plot. So probably he's just going to throw off a Dark Pulse, get damage on Coughing. Nothing too special. Corrosive Gas into Fire Blast, okay. Interesting. I think Coughing is going to Memento for Zigzagoon. You can Memento for Zigzagoon and then hope to dodge a Head Smash from Onix. I'm not entirely clear. Crunch, 45, Memento. Yeah, exactly. Zigzagoon. Oh, he Corrosive Gassed the Zigzagoon. Extreme Speed. Is it Aftermath? It is Aftermath, okay. And yeah, now Onix is going to come in. It's going to clean up. Yeah, Snover is going to lose to Ponyta. And GG. And that's how it goes sometimes. That we have to really look at the replay here. This turn right here. He goes to Snover. He threatens it out. Everybody thinks, okay, Grass type, Water type, he's going to go to Ponyta. wailord predicts the Ponyta, but no. Water Spout, and it's over. Diglett dies, Friendly Fire from the Focus Sash. And wow. And I believe there's one more game coming up. Alright, and we have another game. And we have Lily using the Shellos team she used before, and boulicrok using a more standard team. Something we've seen before, Mianfu with Diglett. And the Shellos, we didn't get to see what moveset the Shellos was, but if I recall correctly, it was Eviolite Bulky Porygon. So it's a very interesting team. We didn't get to learn a lot about the team. So it's a very bulky team, which you don't see a lot of in Little Cup. It has bulky Mianfu, bulky Porygon, Shellos is bulky, Marini is bulky. If I have to be honest, this is probably the closest to Little Cup stall that you'll ever see. And looking at the matchup, Natu can deny hazards from Ferroseed. Shellos can wall Ponyta. Okay, we see the leads Mianfu. I believe Lily's Mianfu is max defense bulky, so Mianfu will win the speed tie, yeah. And one trick about Little Cup is you can see if that number is 88, it means it is max defense Mianfu. 86 means it is max speed Mianfu. So you can tell the difference between max speed and max HP. So this is maximum bulk and boulicrok is maximum speed because of the number right there, 86. He high jump kicks, okay. And that is why you run bulky Mianfu, so you do live that high jump kick because you run the bulk, like that's the whole point. But Lily doesn't really have a lot of offensive pressure. Because typically when you use a bulky Mianfu, you would also use it with something like Abra, because the whole point is that you can U-turn into something that threatens Mianfu. But she doesn't exactly have that, so we're probably going to see Natu. This could be Cosmic Power Natu, right? If you look at the rest of the team, it's a really bulky style team with Shellos and Porygon. This could be Cosmic Power Natu with stored power. It would fit the motif very well. Instead of a standard U-turn Natu, for example. Okay, so she does go to Natu, as expected, because it's pretty much the only offensive presence she has. So maybe it isn't Cosmic Power Natu, it could be a standard Psychic. And Boulicrok's team is really weak to Natu. We've seen this time and again, it's a common trend, people are bringing teams weak to Natu, and Natu is feeding on them. Because, you have Ferroseed with loses to Heat Wave, Mianfu which loses to Psychic, Coughing loses to Psychic, Grookey loses to Heat Wave, Diglett can't really touch Natu, all you have is Ponyta, but you really have to maneuver Ponyta into the Natu, because if you switch into a Psychic, you're going to take damage, when you Flare Blitz, you're going to take damage, and when you add it onto Lily's team, you go to Ponyta here, right? Oh, it is Cosmic Power. Yeah, I told you, it fit the motif of the team. Even though we didn't know the set, it definitely looked like it. And here's the problem. The only Natu check is Ponyta, but Ponyta is completely walled by Shellos. And you can't really trap Shellos, it's very difficult to trap Shellos. So you're going to have to get something done with Grookey and Ponyta to try and do something versus the Shellos. But then you run into the other problem of Trapinch. Grookey can maybe try and do something versus Shellos, but then Trapinch can trap it with First Impression. So it's a very unconventional team, Shellos, Cosmic Power Natu, but it's showing to be very deadly and it's unclear how Boulicrok can actually break through. Because right now, he's going to Wild Charge, right? And it does nothing, it does 43 only, recoil damage, more Cosmic Power, and I think Natu can potentially win on the spot right now. Literally it can win right now. Because you need to knock off the Natu. But how do you knock off the Natu? You have to go to Mianfu or Grookey. He brings in Diglett. Now Diglett has Final Gambit, and this is where it can become tricky. This might have Rock Tomb, it might have Sludge Bomb to go for a poison. What you don't want to do is you don't want to Final Gambit and maybe use Cosmic Power, and you lose all your HP to the Final Gambit. And if you're Boulicrok, you don't want to Final Gambit as she uses Roost and Roost back to full health. So if I'm Boulicrok here, I'm thinking I'm going to Sludge Bomb to get poison damage. I'm going to try and time my Final Gambit at the right time. And obviously it's very easy to say, okay, time it well. But it's actually very difficult to time your Final Gambit at the right time when Lily does not use Roost. It's a little bit of a tricky situation for both sides right now. And another problem for Boulicrok is that Lily can opt out of this whole situation. She doesn't have to stay in. If she wants, she can go to Trapinch on the Diglett and trap the Diglett. So very, very tough situation for Boulicrok, and Trapinch and Shellos and Natu, this is a real pain to handle. I don't think Boulicrok can handle it. It's so tough to handle. And what do? I definitely think Lily might go to Trapinch. Okay, beat up 8, 9. This is actually going to add up to a lot. The animation is really slow though. Okay? 6 times, Roost up to full. So at some point you're going to have to pop that Final Gambit, but you have to time it perfectly. And again, Lily can opt out of this entire situation by going to Trapinch. So it's going to be a very prediction-heavy situation right now, but the odd... Okay. Oh, even better. Porygon Arena Trap, beat up, and this is even better, because Porygon traces Arena Trap, and now she doesn't even have to take damage on Trapinch. Because one other concern that could have happened is that Diglett could have Final Gambited the Trapinch, maybe kill it along with beat up damage, and then Grookey Trapinch cannot trap Grookey if Diglett suicides to kill it. But here what she did was, she preserved Trapinch for Grookey, and at the same time is trapping Diglett. So really well executed right now, and I don't think Diglett can do anything to Porygon, and even if you do Final Gambit and bring Porygon down to low health, the job is already done. By trapping Diglett, you've opened up Natu to dominate. Diglett uses Final Gambit, Lily recovers, which is a good play, and even if she didn't recover, Natu was going to dominate, because without Diglett, Ponyta only does, 43, as we saw before, Coughing doesn't do much, Ferroseed can't do much, Grookey, Mianfu, that's pretty much all you have, a Speed Tie to try and knock off Natu. Yeah, so this is going to be really tough for Boulicrok. Goes to Marini on the high jump kick. Marini is probably going to knock off. There's nothing to switch into knock off. So Boulicrok can knock off himself to remove the Marini. Yeah, but this game is over. So we see the knockoff, we see the Scald, and maybe if we're looking at the motif of the team, Cosmic Power Natu, maybe the Marini is Iron Defense Marini. That would be pretty cool. Or what am I saying? The Mianfu is already knocked off. Never mind, she didn't have to knock off here. U-turn, Marini is probably going to recover. Yeah. Now Pharaoh Seed can knock off or it can Stealth Rock, depends on what Lily wants to do with the Natu. If you go Natu on the knockoff, you do lose your item, which could be a game changing if you lose your item. So it's unclear if she'll go to Mianfu, will she go to Natu? It's unclear. Okay, Boulicrok makes a double switch into the knockoff, so Lily was comfortable just removing the knockoff removing the Eviolite on Pharaoh. Boulicrok knockoff U-turn goes to Coughing this time. Scald, does she get the burn? No burn, but the damage is still very much appreciated. Now, this probably has Thunderbolt, so you have options. You can go to Mianfu. No, you can't go to Mianfu. You can go to Porygon. Actually, you don't have a lot of options. Trapinch is a little risky to go. You could go Trapinch. If you go to Trapinch on maybe a Thunderbolt, that's fine. If you go on Sludge Bomb, fine, but you risk getting poisoned. And then what does Boulicrok respond? He would respond by going to Mianfu. She goes to Mianfu on the Thunderbolt. It does live the hit. Now, Lily does have to be careful because if she uses Fake Out into the Pharaoh Seed, Rough Skin is going to kill Mianfu. So she has to be a little bit careful. She could High Jump Kick for chip damage and call it a day. High Jump Kick, then go to Natu, start setting up the Cosmic Power. That's an option as well. If you go with that route, you do risk getting Sludge Bomb poisoned, but I think that's a risk that is ultimately worth it if you can start boosting up. We'll see if she does it, if she goes in High Jump Kicks right now and then goes to Natu immediately. Her timer is running low. We'll see if she does it, okay? Boulicrok goes to Mianfu. On the knockoff, good prediction from Boulicrok. Marini, going to see a U-turn? Yeah, we see a U-turn now. Coughing is going to come right back in, threaten Thunderbolt again. And the pressure, Boulicrok is not going down without a fight. It looked early on that Natu would be a match winner, but he is not going down without a fight, and he's putting enough pressure to stop the Natu from coming in again. He goes to Grookey, and I don't think Grassy Glide might kill this, in fact. So Lily might sacrifice something and then trap with Trapinch. That could be an option. She goes to Mianfu, and yeah, she's going to sacrifice Mianfu and go to Trapinch. It is Life Orb. We're going to see the Trapinch. There we go. First impression, it is Protect Grookey. That is so uncommon. What an unlucky matchup. You don't see Protect Grookey very often, but it worked out perfectly to stop the Trapinch. Now Lily goes to Shellos here, and the reason she went Shellos is because if she cannot trap the Grookey, then Shellos is not going to be valuable at all. So Shellos gets sacrificed here. We're going to see a Natu, I believe. It is knockoff Grookey, which definitely complicates things very much. And yeah, this is unexpected. You don't see Protect. It's kind of like a chicken and the egg story. But you don't see, oh, now Grassy Terrain is back for Boulicrok, but you don't see Protect on Grookey because Trapinch is uncommon. And because you don't see Protect on Grookey, you might want to use Trapinch for the Grookey. So it's kind of like a chicken or the egg. Do you run Protect for Trapinch or not? And here we see the Grookey with Protect and we see the Trapinch, which is very unlucky to have fought the Grookey matchup here. Porygon comes in, Drain Punch. Oh, do we see a Thunder Wave? Do we see a Thunder Wave? We see the Thunder Wave, and this could have been a huge blunder by Boulicrok, because now Natu can set up Cosmic Powers on this Grookey. So this might have been a very big blunder. We'll see if it comes to harm him. We're definitely going to see the Natu. Yeah, we'll see if this comes back to haunt him. He goes to Mianfu. We see the Cosmic Power. I think we're going to see, okay, a Fake Out, critical hit Fake Out. That might matter. It might matter. Knockoff, Speed Tie win. Cosmic Power again. And now this is going to be a game of avoiding the crit. Knockoff, you have to recover, okay? What do we see? You probably U-turn into Ponyta. No, he's going to fish for the crit. Natu is going to Roost. Knock off here, and that was a blunder by letting Grookey get paralyzed because you couldn't knock off before the Natu could move. We see the U-turn, okay? Into Ponyta, and it is going to be crit fishing right now. The Ponyta will have maybe 4 to 5 chances to crit. 1. Okay, no crit, Cosmic Power. Yeah, the Ponyta is going to have 4 to 5 chances to crit. Okay, Roost here. We're going to see a Roost, okay? Ponyta again, 1 more chance to crit. No crit, is she going to Roost or attack? I think you have to Roost, okay? 1 more chance for the crit. No, not happening. It's 1 in 24 of a chance to happen. Cosmic Power again, I think at some point you have to start using Stored Power. 26 right now. Roost, you don't want to get greedy. You do not want to get greedy while trying to avoid the crit. One more attack here. You have to attack right now. Or maybe not. You're going all the way to full. Okay. This is greedy. This is greedy. You're basically begging to be crit with all these boosts right now. One more. One more. Is she going to get punished? No punish yet. 26. Roost again. One more chance for a crit. You basically have one more chance for the crit. No, not happening. It is just not happening. She's not getting punished for the greed. Stored power going to kill. You have Mianfu. Mianfu can fake out, knock off. You can fake out, you can knock off, and if you crit the knockoff, then Grookey can Grassy Glide. Is that the plan? I think that has to be the plan for Boulicrok. You need the crit with knockoff. Okay, fake out. Knockoff crit has to come in right now. Oh, he gets it. He gets the knockoff crit. He gets it. And it's not a luck thing because she did have to take so many critical hit chances. It was bound to happen. Now Marini comes in, and can Marini win the game? There is a Pharaoh Seed at full. There is a Grookey. There is a Coughing. And yeah, sometimes it happens when you use these type of crit me not sweepers, as I call them. You risk the chance of getting crit. Scald here. Now, I think Coughing can pretty easily Thunderbolt. You do have to be careful about Trapinch. You do have to be careful about Trapinch if you're Boulicrok. Pain Split on the Trapinch switch, okay? Now what is Trapinch going to do? Do you Earthquake? I think if you're Boulicrok, you definitely go to Mianfu here. Go to Mianfu, maybe U-turn, maybe knockoff. Okay, we see the Grookey switch in. Does she predict it? Does she first impression? No, Earthquake, okay. Now Grookey has a free Grassy Glide, and Lily is going to, oh yeah, Trapinch is gone. Marini, can Marini do it? I don't think it can. It has to deal with Thunderbolt Coughing, it has to deal with Pharaoh Seed, it has to deal with Grookey. Yeah, I think you can Grassy Glide here, and then Coughing can Thunderbolt. It's game over. And we almost saw the Natu win. We almost saw the Natu win. Sludge Bomb, okay? Yeah, I don't think Marini is going to win this. Yeah, Coughing is going to win with Thunderbolt, yeah. But we almost saw the Natu, but it had to avoid crits, and ultimately it couldn't avoid the crit. And yeah, we're going to see Coughing here. Slowbro. I mean, yeah, Thunderbolt, and it's over. GG, and Natu almost gets the job done.